Again, my name's Gabe Zollner. You know what's really interesting is some videos that I post get a whole lot of attention and some don't. This one in particular has received a fair amount of attention and I wanted to share it with you. It's MOV05661. Marijuana, a gateway drug? Question mark? Absolutely! Exclamation mark. That's the title of the video. And it has received a number of responses, some in the affirmative, some people agree with what I said in that video, and some don't. Now here's one here from a viewer, and I've enjoyed receiving comments from this particular individual. But here's what he wrote. He says, "Sorry, buddy, I disagree. I've smoked weed for 5 years, and never did I want to stick a needle in my arm or would want to do coke. I don't smoke now because of my faith in God. The only thing weed did for me was it got me between me and the Lord. Instead of me running to the Lord with my problems, I smoked a joint and then went away my anger, pain, and depression. But only the Lord can give you true happiness. Weed wears off in about 3 hours. Thanks for the vid. I love your work." And again, he's a regular commentator. And here's what I wrote back. "Great to hear. You obviously have the Lord to keep you away from the needle. Unfortunately, our cities are full of people with far less willpower than you obviously have. I never once suggested that, quote, everyone, end of quote, that smokes weed gets hooked. But want to bet that not a single heroin user started on heroin? I absolutely believe that. And you know, we all have our own experiences. I grew up in the 60s. So it isn't that I don't know what weed's all about. I was one of those fortunate that never progressed. I didn't like it. I know people that I knew back then that still smoke weed today. We're talking 50 years later, 40 years later. That's scary. And they, in some cases, also haven't progressed beyond weed. They never found the Lord, which is why they're still doing weed. But I also lost friends that started on weed, and they've been dead 40 years. Not because of the weed, because they didn't have the willpower that this one viewer of mine has. So, think what you like. That's what's nice about this country. We can still do that for a while. What do you think? I told you what I think.